And here we are, guys. Game 1 of our match between aTn Type and Dream Team Gaming. And here we have representing aTn Type, specifically alternate attack. It is none other than Socke. Pretty much their ace, but they're not pulling any punches this time around. They got into the tournament. They want to make a good show of it, so he's coming out first. And his opponent is our Zerg player in the red from Dream Team Gaming. It is NalrA. Not that NalrA. Different NalrA. I feel like I still need to clarify that. I believe the original Brood War NalrA is a coach now, if I remember right.
I think you're right, because we discussed this before the last time we saw Dream Team.
Yeah,
so.
I'm pretty sure he's a coach at the moment, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure. You can tweet at me and Kevin, at Gosudoa, at Kevin Naki on Twitter. Let us know if you do know.
And NA have many lag, is what NalrA has to say. So
yeah, sometimes it does. I mean, if they're playing from Korea like that, it really varies. I mean, when I was over there, there'd be some days where it'd be perfectly playable, it'd be fine. There'd be other days where it would be pretty rough. So kind of depends on when you hit it here, but hopefully NalrA's leg clears up a little bit.
Now, we've seen, I mean, PvZ is pretty played out on Daybreak.
Yeah.
It's fairly predictable. We kind of know how it's going to go. Players have been trying to introduce a lot of looks recently, but decent possibility that Socke is just going to go for that. We'll see. It looks like he's intending to go for the Forge first version of the Forge Fast Expand, not going to Nexus first. But his opponent, more than likely, is just going to go 3 Hatch, no gas for a while. Certainly has some flexibility after that, but it's kind of been the standard on this map for quite a while now.
Yeah, and you know, Socke knows that. We do see him getting that Forge first, so there could be the possibility of him doing some cannon aggression at the naturals of NalrA as well. A lot of Protoss players at the tip-top level like this choose to forego the cannons just because they want to save their resources, get that Nexus down sooner, but by getting that Forge first, at least he kind of gives himself the option. If he sees an opening where it would be worthwhile, he can go ahead and do that. But we're certainly at least going to see at least a pylon block here. The Protoss player always wants to slow down the hatcheries as much as they can.
Yep, absolutely. So Socke going to go ahead and save up the resources for that expansion. As we can see, has the 400, can put down that Nexus. Decides needs to mine a few minerals off of that first, and then puts down the Nexus. But yep, just saving up for that pylon block. Nothing out of the ordinary on NalrA's side for Zerglings coming to clear up any eventual pylons, and that Queen just about to pop out as well.
Yeah, you do see some Zergs going for like 15 pool, 15 hatchery right away, but a lot of Zerg players have been just kind of waiting for the 20 supply mark, 2021 to put down that hatchery, just to make sure that they don't need to deal as much with the pylon at the natural expansion. So NalrA, while his hatchery is slightly slower, really doesn't make a very big difference. And now he's looking for that probe again. He doesn't want to block at the 3rd hatchery, and it looks like he should be able to find it. Yep, the Overlord spots it anyway, so he should know he's going to be safe to put down that hatchery.
He didn't even block over the natural as well, so Socke just letting NalrA kind of take his bases on his terms here, and I still am not used to the 5-range Queen yet.
I know.
Dispatches of the probe pretty easily, but of course,
good.
Socke was able to see both those geysers unoccupied, but yeah, they are so good.
Yeah, I mean, as a Zerg player myself, having 5 range on the Queen's melee attack just makes so much of a difference in so many different little situations.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't even really seen what the complete implications of that patch change have been. I mean, obviously ZVT has definitely seen some changes, but I think there's a lot of other stuff that's kind of unexplored with it yet. I mean, ZVZ has some potential, I think, there, but that's why I love StarCraft too. You know, you have these changes come into the game, and then you get to see kind of how the top players take those changes and make them work for them at that really, really high level. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, NalrA just sitting outside of his opponent's base, checking things out, making sure nothing is out of the ordinary. And indeed, it's not. We see +1 weapons coming up now for Socke. And the real question will be, of course, how quick does he want to move over to 3rd and 4th gas? Does he want to tech up aggressively? He's starting with a Stalker, which is actually something we saw him do quite a bit during the qualifiers as well. That was his first gateway unit of choice. Led to a lot of flexibility. Sometimes he'll sit on just 2 gas massive gateways and try and put on a +1 attack and deny that 3rd. Sometimes, though, he will decide to switch into very high tech.
I do like the Stalker first for Socke. I think that's going to be something that a lot of Protoss players are going to start adopting soon if they haven't already, just because it's a little bit more useful in the very early stages of the game than a Zealot. Yeah, it's more expensive, but you can pick off Zerglings, take a little bit more Xel'Naga tower control from time to time. And you can also get away, too, generally, because even if they make a few extra Zerglings to try to deal with it, they're probably not going to have speed right away. So your Stalker is going to be generally safe no matter where it is on the map at this point. So I like that choice to get the Stalker out. He's going to be able to harass a little bit and get some good scouting with it, too.
And it looks like Socke actually going to go for the Robo back at home, as we can see, as he puts on a little pressure with the Stalker. He'll have to retreat away, unfortunately, from those circlings, but he will be able to make it back home. Has plenty of hit points. So the robotic facility is coming out. He's starting to churn out sentries one after another, adding on that fourth gas. That fourth gas.
He's getting that there.
He's getting that fourth gas there.
He's want to get some Void Rays out, maybe. Nope, Robo Bay.
Yeah.
I just felt like saying Void Rays. I don't know.
I do believe someone with that accent, that's what they
I've
would
had
say,
them on the brain because the last game I played on this map on ladder, I kid you not, the person literally tried to make 30 Void Rays against me.
Yeah.
I was like, does this still happen? Apparently it does.
Is this a thing? I don't know.
It's distracting. It's a thing for this guy, apparently.
Well, that Overlord is going to go down, speedy as it is now. So the robotics facility finishes up, and Socke has a lot of flexibility. He can decide to take his third very early on now, behind sentries and about 3 or 4 immortals. He'll need a couple more gateways to do that, and indeed he's putting them down. So, but yeah, this is pretty standard stuff out of him. Like I said, a lot of flexibility here. He can decide to hit just a big immortal attack, or if he feels that he's not taking any pressure, can go for that third pretty easily.
Yeah, we'll kind of wait and see what he has in mind with that. Right now, I'm kind of looking at the gases for NalrA, and they're going up really quickly, already up to 6 gas. So he's going to be able to potentially do a lot of upgrades. I mean, I suppose there's a possibility of Mutalisks, but he could also just go for a ton of Roaches here, too. Let's see. I'm kind of looking at a few things here, and yeah, I don't know. It's Roach Max is so good on this map if you can hit fast enough, and if you've got pretty decent unit control, too. You can really deny that third, so we might just see him go for that, and I think that'd be an okay choice in this situation. Yeah,
most certainly. This is a little bit harder map than, say, something like Metropolis or Ohana to take that quick third the way that Socke is doing, but I like that he's going for it anyway.
He's playing it safe.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have that Photon Cannon up for defense as well. He's walling off the back of this, but he's allowing himself a pretty decent attack path right here once he starts to increase that immortal count.
You know what? At the third base of Socke, there's an Overlord right there, isn't there? Yeah, there is. So, you know, he is seeing that there's a cannon going up and things like that. He knows that Socke is going to play a little bit more defensive. So rather than going for that Roach Max, he is throwing down the Infestation Pit. The extra gases were a pretty good indication of that anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think, seeing that kind of helped him kind of make that decision. He's also taking a really fast fourth as well. So, wow, very, very aggressive expanding here from NalrA. This is interesting.
I know. I'm a little. I mean, I don't think it's a bad decision, but I'm a little surprised because he's willingly allowing Socke to take that third base and to just kind of tech at will. We see that robotics base just finishing up as well. So very soon he's going to have an incredibly powerful army. There's Twilight Council, so we can continue those Forge upgrades as well. But still, with that being said, NalrA taking a risk here and teching up, but it looks like he may want to move even to Broodlord super quick on.
Well, he's making a good amount of Roaches right now, and he's gotten Festers on the way too, so he may be planning on just doing a bit of an attack with that as well. He is getting Hive, but he will have this timing before the Colossi comes out where maybe he can get in and do some damage with Ling, Roach, and Fester. You see some Zergs trying that. He's kind of checking around to the Overseer here just to kind of help him make that decision, but we'll see. I mean, if he does want to go for something like Broodlords, he's going to need to start a Spire. And there it is. He's starting the Spire. So, yeah, Broodlords are the plan in the long run. But, yeah, we can see him getting a little bit aggressive with this, too. This is what a lot of Zergs have started doing. And it's a good idea. It's a good timing to catch Protoss once in a while.
Yeah, Zerg Macro has come so far recently as well. We're going to be on 83 drones here in just a second. And so he'll be getting close to that max around the 13-minute mark. And that's with teching the Broodlords at the same time. So, pretty impressive out of him. Socke now finally starting to add on some Colossi. Of course, his immortal count is a little bit down as a result of that. Puts down a couple of force fields, but they don't really trap anything. So
just reminding him that he has them. He's like, hey, man, you can attack, but I've got force fields. Just saying. I'm just warning you. I don't have a problem with you trying to run up my ramp, but I'm just saying there might be force fields.
You see these? I've got to waste energy, man. It's just,
I know. I've got so many sentries, it doesn't even matter. And the Colossus is out now, so we're not going to see NalrA do any aggression, obviously, with this.
No.
He knows his timings. He's going to wait for the Broodlord tech. And the question is then, will he be able to really handle this? I mean, against what Socke is doing, he's getting 2 Colossi at once. He's actually got double Robo with this. But with the Spire on the way, we're going to have NalrA making Corruptors anyway. So if his Infestor control is good, if he can kind of lock down things with fungal growth, give his Corruptors time to kill off those Colossi before the engagement really starts, he's still going to be in pretty good shape.
Well, we'll see now what both these guys end up going towards. The Broodlords are coming up now, and he's already starting to supplant that Spinecrawler wall quite well. You know, it's kind of interesting composition of Socke as well. It's almost pure Blink Stalker Colossus, so not gone up to Templar tech yet. We're not seeing any Archons. We don't see a starport to start making his way towards a mothership as well. It's just going to be pure, well, really offensive units that are designed to hit a little bit earlier on than Archons would.
And I mean, the idea with this too is that you know you're going to be going up against Corruptors most of the time, right? He may have even gotten an observer in there to see that, but with that, you add on so many Stalkers because you want to be able to take the Corruptors out as they're firing at the Colossi, and then obviously Blink Stalkers are very useful by themselves as well. So all around a very strong army composition. Now NalrA forced to defend. Here he comes. Some decent fungals, but I don't think he's quite prepared for this.
No, he pins down a couple of units, but he was just waiting and delaying to be able to put up those Broodlords. He had banked a lot of resources to do just that. The Corruptors are out now, starting to pick away at the Colossi. One of those may fall down here in just a second. The Blink Stalkers getting underneath. Looks like they're a little more worried about the Roaches than anything else. He may even sacrifice a couple of his Colossi to make sure that he's able to get this done. Blinks up now, finally picks off a couple more Spinecrawlers and will take out the 4th hatchery.
Yep, not a lot that NalrA could do about that. Socke picked really, really good timing to move out with this. It was right when the Corruptors are coming up, and not that many of them yet. There are Broodlords on the way, but I don't know if NalrA's going to have enough. He was able to save a decent amount of Infestors, though, so if anything is going to be his kind of saving grace in this game a little bit later on, that's what it's going to be, but it's looking pretty rough right now.
Yeah, no kidding, especially as this 3rd base is going to fall here in a second as well. He's got a base, but now it's disjointed down at the bottom right and won't be able to mine off that for quite a while. Socke still has a lot of firepower here, even though the Roach numbers are continuing to go up and there are a few Broodlords overhead. There's still a lot of firepower. We'll see if Socke can win with this.
Yeah, you know, the other thing for NalrA, too, is that the upgrades aren't quite there either, so it's not like he can use a smaller amount of Broodlords to sort of power through the army. But in this case, it will be enough. No sentries mean that the Roaches are a legitimate threat, even with the Colossi there. So Socke is going to have to pull back and be a little bit safer. Killing that 4th and the 3rd was a great kind of start to this.
Yeah.
But he hasn't won quite yet. He still needs to play this a little bit carefully.
Yeah, that's very true. And his macro is still quite good, sitting on those 3 bases with 72 workers. Now making his way in and picking off a lot of these circling reinforcements as he cuts off the 4th base. So well done there. He does lose a Colossus, unfortunately, but it looks like he'll be able to get this hatchery and get out there. No, actually deciding to be aggressive. Blinks up underneath the Broodlords, kills 2 of them. May even be able to get a 3rd. He does. And at the same time, he's still going to be able to get that hatchery. Wow, actually getting 4 of those Broodlords in total. This is very well done by Socke.
Yeah, he kind of decided to trade Colossi for Broodlords, and we'll see how that trade kind of ends up. He's still got a pretty decent supply lead. Oh, man, he's got Zealots working on that Greater Spire as well. Yeah, NalrA just kind of falling apart to a certain extent at this point. It doesn't look like he's going to really be able to make that big army that he needs to, and especially after losing those Broodlords, things are not looking very good still.
Yeah, so Socke backing up for now. He's taking his 4th. He's even starting to throw on a few Void Rays on top of this, just
very good
to supplant. Yeah, and just to supplant that those Colossi as well. So the firepower is going to be pretty immense for him. The Warpins just keep happening as well, and NalrA's even having a hard time just defending against the Warpins, much less any of the frontline army.
Yeah. I like the addition of the Warp Prisms, too. I mean, that's something you can always use to harass with as well, but you know, we just don't see a lot of units right now from NalrA. His economy is just hurting pretty bad. He's making like 10 Zerglings. That's not going to go very far against an army with 4 Colossi.
No.
Excuse me. So excuse me. Wow. But it's looking really rough for NalrA. He's 60 supply down. He's got 4 bases, but it's kind of spread out just the way that the bases are laid out.
Yeah.
Blinking under those Broodlords, the 1 remaining Broodlord that is, and just doesn't look like he's going to have enough this time.
No, I don't think so either. It looks like Socke going to roll the victory in game number 1. That's going to put aTn Type off on a good foot, and we'll see what Dream Team Gaming can do. There's the GG, and aTn Type has taken game number 1 in this best of 9.
Yeah, well played by Socke, just playing a very fast or very